So Contra Costa County Sheriff's older uniforms.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, pirates of all ages, we are finally back. We had to go do some other things, pick up another unit, sold, etc., and we are back to start working on this $5,500 storage. We've accomplished getting a hole down the middle. This unit was kind of crazy. We took this whole hole out, minus we moved all military stuff side to side. We broke even selling that load. It's kind of a crazy unit. We got so much to film. You can see everything we got to film all the way down there and everything back there. We got a lot of military. So we're going to get started, get some trash out of the way, and we're going to start making more videos of this amazing, look at that kind of stuff. This is amazing military stuff. Got highway patrol stuff, war hats. I'm blown away. The sheer intensity of what each one of these pieces represent, the things that transpired to use that piece. It's intense. I love military. Shout out to every serviceman who's ever served our country and given us the freedom that we have, like me, to sit here and make these silly little videos. Much love. Units got to the back. We're doing our dump run. We got somebody out here looking at stuff with us. Right off the bat, he tells me I got a military, what was it, Air Force?
It's a military cap. It's got no form, so it's a crush cap.
It's called a crusher cap. Worth about $300. Now that is a good sign. What was about this one?
The Vietnam era.
So it's not as special?
Yeah.
Has historical significant value, but not monetary value. What are you selling something like that for? Sure feels like one of those crusher caps.
$60.
$60. All right, that's not bad. Not bad at all. Evidence photos?
Evidence photos for private investigator.
For like the military, or?
I don't know what he was doing, but it was all like...
How do you tell that they're private investigators?
Because it's stamped on the back of a couple of them. There's a car got hit. That was not marked.
Ooh, that one got chunked out.
Car wreck.
No, that one's not.
This is not, but there's ones that say private investigator on the back. See? Stanley C. Johnson, private investigator.
Oh, wow. What we're investigating. We skipped a bunch. What the hell?
Probably for insurance, I'm going to guess. Like an insurance claim or something. Plaintiff's Exhibit. Penn Guard, Bayonne, New Jersey.
Here we go.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company to Mr. Hayes White. He got crushed. Looks like he got hurt on the job or crashed his car or did something. I don't know. Interesting.
Nice photos.
Yeah,
black and white photos are hot.
It's naval. That's Army. It's an Army officer, Lieutenant Colonel in the Air Corps, World War II. World War II into Korea. Guy's name's on the inside, Lieutenant Colonel W.A. Lowell, Air Corps. He's got the scrambled eggs on the top. Officer had these scrambled eggs on the top of...
That's what they call it, scrambled eggs?
They call it scrambled eggs.
Nice.
It's Oakley, so they call it scrambled eggs. This is like 70s. This is a warrant officer's hat from World War II. That's pretty cool. You don't see those.
Which kind?
Warrant officer. Somebody that would just go around and, you know, get people in trouble.
Oh. The not cool, the fun sucker.
Yeah.
That one I thought was cool.
This one's cool too. He's also an officer, probably also Lieutenant Colonel, or anybody over a captain, really.
This is what, nothing special?
No.
We're trying to learn about this.
That's Army.
This
is also Navy with the scrambled eggs. This is also Navy with the scrambled eggs. That's a pretty modern hat, probably 70s, 80s. See what else we got sitting in here. Cool graphics. It's got an eagle with a hat on it, probably from the 50s. Also U.S. Navy dress cap for the dress white uniform. This thing that just stabbed me.
Sat on somebody's desk. It's a cool flag though, huh?
Yeah.
I think I found a possible silver Olympic medal from the 70s.
Oh, really?
I found a whole box of some weird medals, and a couple of them were...
Where are those at?
Not that cool.
That's cool. U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary. This is a women's cap. which is kind of fun. This goes to a Mosin Nagant rifle.
A Mosin Nagant.
Artillery shell. There's the base. That's probably one of the largest trench urns I've seen. Pretty cool.
Yeah, put them in here as you go through them.
World War II patches. It's a Rangers patch. That's the unit in Saving Private Ryan.
Matthew knows a lot about military, guys. Had to call somebody.
I was a former collector.
You don't collect military no more?
No, I collect police and fire badges.
Why'd you stop collecting military?
As veterans passed away, guys that I was friends with passed away. It just looking at the stuff kind of depressed me a little bit, so I got out of it. I moved my collection on to other collectors that are going to preserve the history.
It's still good to.
This is the California State Automobile Association.
Oh yeah, AAA.
Circa 1980.
It's still good to save it because it's tribute. You get the memories.
Special Forces, and this is
newer.
70s, 80s. 70s, 80s. Somebody went to England and got a souvenir. No clue. Dutch, maybe. Probably Dutch. Because it's definitely not Greek to me.
Is that a joke?
Yeah.
All right, that was funny, guys. Laugh. Everybody right now laugh in the comment section.
Columbia, that's Columbia. That's a space shuttle.
That's probably a good.
So it's a nice commemorative patch for the space shuttle launch, Columbia.
Those are cool. They're older.
That's third ID. They're out of Camp Stewart, Georgia, or Fort Stewart, Georgia. Sorry, Fort Stewart, Georgia. That's where the base is for that unit. Fort Benning, Georgia. That's home of the infantry, but also home of the 82nd and the 101st Airborne. There's the 101st Airborne.
How do you know that that's 101st Airborne?
It's a Screaming Eagle.
Okay. Oh, wait, none of us know. Well, I can't say nobody out there.
This is the Diablo Valley Raider boosters. Scouts, which are probably scouts of the air.
Yeah. Ooh. I knew that was XIX Corps.
Does it ring a bell, Mike? Does it ring a bell? Does it ring
a bell?
A bell. Cavalry, Air Calv. That's Spearhead. It's an armored unit. That's a camera strap. Nothing exciting there. This is the 1993 Soccer Association Lube Block, whatever that means.
Lubbock.
Okay, sorry, I can't read. That's an air wing, probably from Thailand or one of those countries.
Another one of those awards. It's a wing.
Pretty interesting. New York State Police patch.
Oh.
Oh. Look at that.
That's an old one.
This goes on a Navy uniform, but it looks like a hook carrying a big I-beam of steel. So I'm going to say probably naval construction, crane operators patch or something like that. Screaming Eagle.
Screaming Eagle.
That's an older patch, probably 50s. These are called boot bands. Basically, you'd wrap these and you tie these around your boot, and you go down to your pant leg, and you stick these over your boots, and you fold your pants into them so you have the perfect fold over your boots.
Oh, kind of like when we used to peg them back in the 80s?
Yeah, pretty much, except this is like cheater pegs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Police Department, City of New York.
That is nice. What is that?
It looks like a desk paperweight.
It looks
But this
cool.
is really cool. Lincoln Lodge 16 from 1873. I am a Knights of Pythias. Are you? That's a question back in 1873 that was on everyone's mind.
What? I'm a knight?
I am a Knight of Pythias. Are you?
Oh,
that's
you're
nice.
just being facetious.
This is over 140
years old,
50
almost.
years old almost. 140, 150 years old.
Yeah, over 150.
That's pretty cool.
Army, to my wife, a darling little wife has made my dreams come true. She blessed me all my life. Her name is only you. You are my partner, sweet. You share all and I do. I make joy complete. Fort Snelling, MINN, maybe Minnesota. What do we got there?
Two other crusher.
Ooh, look at this.
These are also crusher caps, but they're crushed.
Those are good. So what are those worth?
In that condition, not a lot. Because this is cool. This is a training hand grenade. So they'd actually have a blank fire, like a black powder charge in here. It wouldn't blow up, but they'd use this for training and they'd throw it before they actually got in the.
We found a bunch of those.
Yeah, those are pretty cool.
This one, I think this one is a little more better than you're thinking it is.
No, it's got a guy's name on it, which is really nice. That's pretty cool.
What is that?
Cool weather hat.
Cold weather hat. United Nations
Nations NATO beret.
What's something like that worth?
$5.
Yeah, but this is junk prices. I'm not.
No, that hat's probably worth about $20. Marine Corps cap, World War II era. What's wrong? You okay?
Crusher cap.
That's a summer cap. So you see the summer color, and then it's got its original little hairnet.
What's that worth?
For cold weather, for rain. 30, 40 bucks.
Look at this. I have to go through these one at a time.
These are all naval. None of these are super special. What's really cool about these, though, is during the war, all the ladies that were making these in the factories would always hide their name on them.
Okay.
This patch was made by Francis.
Interesting.
And this patch was made by Francis. And this patch was made by nobody because they didn't want to sign it.
These tin types are pretty cool.
Those are pretty neat, actually.
Tin type photos.
United States Army Military Police.
That's a nice piece
Dun,
there.
dun, dun, dun.
That's very similar to the
80s,
one.
90s. Let's stick that back over here. See what else is buried in this little bag of joy. Oh, that's nice. This is 1881. This is Indian Wars into Spanish-American Wars, and it's a cartridge belt. This is actually screaming rare because Mills had made a big belt, and the most common one's got a dog head on here. But if you've got this belt on a Mills ammo belt from the 1880s up to about 1910, this is gold right there. That buckle's worth a couple $100 by itself.
This right here.
But if you have that on a belt, you're looking at $400 to $500 if the belt's clean.
Patches in there as you go again.
Yeah, so these are all
In that one. Ooh, that's nice.
not sure what that is.
But the quality of it.
It's very
the
nice.
Aging.
Yeah, very nice. Not sure what that is. Bunch of squadron patches for different units.
That's a
Master Crew Chief. That's pretty cool. 11th Airborne. Honor and Courage.
Ooh,
Civil Defense Corps. That's from England. Here's 11th Corps. It's got the dice. 11th Airborne. That's an Air Corps patch. Air Corps patches. That is very nice. 90th Bombardment Squadron Paradise. That's
Paradise. Get it, people?
Yeah,
Paradise.
Squadron patch. Very cool. That patch is probably worth a couple $100.
It's another
36 tactical. Yeah, it's another oldie. There's that cavalry patch. Air Calv is now usually like helicopters and stuff.
Seemed like he was mainly in the American Army or military.
Yep, that's all we got. Helmet covers.
Two hats there.
No, Vietnam era. They're special because our boys wore those with their dress uniforms, and a lot of our boys didn't come home. Lion Brothers Company. It's actually kind of a rare thing to find. World War II era naval patches with the guarantee certificate from the company that made them out of Baltimore. Pretty neat. You don't usually see that because when you find these patches, they can be in mint condition like this, but they're never in the original packaging with the guarantees. So those are pretty cool. Not sure what the value would be. You know, naval patches like this aren't worth a terrible lot of money, but you might get a little premium because you got those cool little guarantees in there from the maker. Kind of nice.
Got a belt here.
Look.
That's kind of nice.
Spanish. From Spain.
From Spain. What do we call this? Cold weather?
Cold weather hat.
I'm going to need that because it's been cold lately in this weather. That one's pretty nice right there.
It's a dress jacket.
It's an older one too.
No badge though, that sucks. So Contra Costa County Sheriff's older uniforms.
What are those worth?
The jacket's probably worth about $50. The shirt about $25.
Matthew collects military badges, police badges, anybody. So if you have police badges for sale, hit me up.
This is, let's see what you got. Now this uniform style didn't change for, actually they're kind of still wearing this style today, but let's see how old this one is.
Ooh.
This was 1964, so DSA number always has a code, and the code is a 2-digit, so if it says DSA, you go through 64, so this jacket's from 1964. We'll look at the next one, and I'll show you how it kind of keeps going here.
Are you paying attention, Michaela, so we can memorize all this stuff?
I am, but you have a lot of information.
1967.
Okay.
The early Vietnam War, late Vietnam War. So this guy, 82nd Airborne, Cavalry, probably a Vietnam veteran. Especially if somebody was on that base at a certain time and he remembers sitting in a mess hall, smoking out of an ashtray. Like this is from Hotel Marktplatz Garmisch.
Michaela would like to know, I told her earlier, she wants to know why they called them mess kits or mess halls.
Mess hall?
Yeah, she was curious why it was called mess. Do you know the answer to that?
You know, no, I don't.
You don't want to try to make something up?
Men elongating soup by slurping.
All right, okay.
No, there's another name for it, but I'm gonna look like an idiot. He's wearing the belt buckle.
Not belt buckle.
He's wearing the belt buckle that you have right there. It's right there. The guy's in full uniform. Alfred, San Francisco, May 1862.
You sure he's wearing that belt buckle?
No, he's not. He's wearing something else. But he's a Civil War soldier. Probably stationed out on Angel Island.
Interesting.
Where most of those guys were during the time.
Wow, so far we got a lot of cool stuff in here. You have to stay tuned for the next video. There'll be plenty of videos coming out of this $5,500 unit. Nothing but military stuff. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button, share button, subscribe. Say some pretty thank you to all the servicemen who serve our country and give us the freedom to make these silly videos and anything else we do in this country.